was the first day that the doula came by and helped us. Today I was able to wash up. I love my daughter. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. There's no reason for me to be sad. And I only knew there was an issue when my therapist brought it up. I'm gonna be honest, I just feel sad. And I keep asking myself, why am I still so tired? Sleep deprivation is a real thing.
Happy birthday.
I love her so much. I'm so glad I had the courage to take the stroller outside by myself. Who got their daughter down in her crib for nap time? Me. Do whatever is best for you, your baby, your mental health. At the end of the day, the lactation consultants are literally there for you and baby. Started a Moms Connect group. Process of me becoming hypervigilant. Oh my God, y'all hear her laugh? It's taken me 4 months to finally come out and say I am dealing with postpartum depression, and it's freeing. I'm supposed to be happy that I grew a baby, right? I mean, if baby with my stomach out again. My skin has been flourishing. I think I did lose a lot of hair. But I feel super cute today. I realized today that I can have both lives. I am finding a creative outlet again. I'm so proud of myself. It feels good that I finally got answers for things. And she is just literally the joyous, happiest baby there is. You wanna hold my hand, Mama? Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I missed y'all so much. And if you're new here, I am Katherine. I am a mom now. I typically create videos around DIYs, home decor, and now I am honored to add the title of motherhood on there because I have so much to say about it. And I've been away for about 1.5 years. It has been a very long time. My goal is to bring light to this 4th trimester. It's to share my story so that you won't feel alone or ashamed like I did and sometimes still do. I have such a unique postpartum experience that I am finding freedom in sharing my story. I know that there's somebody out there that just needs to hear that you are not alone, that you are a phenomenal mom, that you're doing a great job. This is my postpartum experience. What it's like being a mom, a first-time mom, a new mom, having a whole baby now, my life changing. I recorded everything from the moment I found out I was pregnant. There is a possibility you won't go through any of this. And there's a possibility that you may go through a few of these topics that I'm going to discuss today. Or you are a new mama, or you're pregnant, congratulations, and you're curious, or there's something in this video that you relate to, or you too are experiencing similar things that I have gone through. And I had not heard many of these topics that I'm going to share with you all discussed, which ultimately left me shamefully lonely. I've left timestamps down below. I want to respect and honor where you are in postpartum, or if you are entering the 4th trimester, because this can be a lot. You do not have to proceed with the video, and I say that in the most compassionate way. Sometimes you're just not ready to hear information like this, and that's okay as well. I have my notes right here. This will be quite a lengthy video, but a very concise, full of clarity, rawness, and authenticity, and vulnerability. I don't believe I had heard many people discuss in depth regarding postpartum. The word postpartum typically gets tossed around based off what it means to a person or based off their experience, expectations of it. She had a friend say, gosh, I hope you don't go through postpartum. I have had a few of my friends that went through postpartum and it was so hard on them. And I realized that it's inevitable. Postpartum is the 4th trimester. It is the time after you have a baby. And it is truly unique to the mom, the dad, the family, the baby. It's an experience, it's a journey. It's day 2 since I've been discharged from the hospital. Today I was able to wash up. So the doula just left. Today was the first day that the doula came by and helped us with our baby. It was so helpful. When I was creating our baby list, I made sure that I put on there a fund for a postpartum doula. I knew we would not have support. So it was super important for us to invest in a postpartum doula. I was trying to get myself together before she got here, but baby girl started crying and she wanted to eat. We're doing skin to skin, no bra on, mesh underwear. And the doula comes in and I'm just like, she was like, what did I tell you? I was like, I know what you already told me. She was like, I advocate for the moms. I'm here to support you. I got over that thought really fast. Like, oh, she's seeing me naked or whatnot. Like, she was so sweet, so helpful. We learned so much today. We're gonna have another doula come during the nighttime. I always get so nervous when our night doula comes, watching our baby. The idea of leaving my baby with someone overnight while we're sleeping. I know she's right outside of our door. She has credentials. She's done it before. She's been here watching our daughter before. It's just every single time there's this like nervousness that I get. And I'm asking my husband, like, can we pray? Can we pray for our house? Can we pray for her? I'm so grateful that we are about to get some sleep tonight. It is long overdue. I don't have any concept of the time throughout the day. I don't know what day it is. My mind is scattered brain. I'm scatterbrained. Nothing is sticking. I just feel like I'm on rotation, just feeding, changing diapers, putting baby to sleep, and doing it again over and over and over. So it's really nice to have this break, even if it's just for one night a week. I know I said last night that it gets easier having her here. You can't help but worry about your baby. All last night, I just started watching this camera and then it became an obsession. The hard thing is to hear her cry. Like, I know she's not in pain or anything. Our very first experience with hiring a doula, we were betrayed and it hurt deeply. And I was 8 months pregnant and searching for a doula last minute. I was so much stress and I was scared of having this new doula watching our baby. Not because she wasn't good, it's just that we ended up having to get her last minute. Last night was probably by far our best use of a night doula. The day before, my husband and I were just like flustered. We were exhausted. Baby's crying, I'm crying, overwhelmed. We didn't really know what was wrong with our baby. Breasts have been engorged and it was just a lot happening. I started to get in my head about my postpartum body. I felt like I'm running out of time because I have like one more OB appointment. We have a pediatrician appointment. I need to set up a lactation appointment. It was just like all these things that we have going on, and we said tonight we are going to utilize this doula to our advantage. We need to reset. As someone who is naturally a morning person, running off of 2 to 3 hour stretches of sleep was so hard. You underestimate the power of sleep until you are limited. But you truly get energy out of nowhere to do it over and over and over again. And that's the duality of motherhood, especially as a new mom in that infant stage. I wish someone would have told me to show myself some grace. The newborn stage is pure survival mode. I have also come to terms that motherhood is a duality. You also are going to see that in this video as well. My therapist also says it's not an or. It's not this or that. It's an and. I love being a mom and the mental load is too much. I love my baby and I need a break. That's the duality of motherhood. So right after you have a baby, your hormones are trying to come back down. It's so high and it's all over the place. I often hear that moms don't connect with their babies. I literally cried when she came out. I will say that I've connected with my daughter, which I can't believe I can even say my daughter. I know the exact day. The day before Christmas Eve, because I feel like she started to see me. A newborn baby you really can't see, and she like stared at me. Look at you. Smiling and responding to me, and I just felt this deep connection with her immediately. I have to say that I didn't have this connection prior, but I wish I could see her face. She starts to look at me now. She's trying to understand what I'm saying, because I talk to her so much. I see her on her eyebrows like, or she'll just stare at me and start smiling. Next level of love that I have for her, because she's starting to respond to me. We were fresh into the newborn stage. I mean, delirious, sleep deprived. 2 to 3 days prior to Christmas, we had just spoken to the head of the mommy baby unit. So we were recovering from some disappointment that we felt from my labor and delivery. At this particular time, our daughter had not even had her first pediatrician appointment. So we spent Christmas as a family of 3. And looking back, we knew at that time we were making the right decision. But I also think it was bittersweet because we also wish we did have family and friends surrounding us. But we knew the position that we were in, and we tried to make just the best out of it. And I was still recovering from a cesarean while we were both trying to figure out parenthood and everything that gets thrown your way the second they let you leave the hospital and come home with a whole new baby, especially as new parents. But I specifically remember Christmas and how sweet it was. We were up at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm nursing, fully exhausted. I remember just having deep excitement because this gift we brought home was ours forever. And it was the best gift that we could ever ask for. We had music playing, we had food going, we were dancing, we were just in love, and we took in every single moment and found gratitude, found special moments.
You took the ribbon off, Mama.
Throughout the entire day. And that's something that I won't ever forget. Just when I thought Christmas couldn't get any better, I have been intentional about saying on this journey of motherhood is that I get to do this. And that requires discipline, a mental shift, even when things are hard. There's this old school song that says, "Great is thy faithfulness." And every time I look at my baby, I am constantly reminded of God's faithfulness, that she is our gift from Him, our promise, our rainbow baby, our miracle. This week we are exactly 4 weeks since baby girl has been born and 4 weeks postpartum. I had a cesarean surgery. I was not prepared for the recovery. The first 2 weeks, it was painful. I felt miserable. I had my baby via a cesarean. So I do have a cesarean scar, and it's pretty low, which I didn't even know that was a great thing until I had other doctors take a look, and they were just like, "It looks so good, it's super low." And I'm like, okay, this is a good thing. I did not prepare for the recovery of a cesarean. I heard you see your baby quickly, but the recovery is difficult, but I didn't understand how difficult it would be. You being cut 7 layers deep would make sense. And this was my very first surgery. However, my mistake was that I did not keep up with the medication like I was supposed to. On top of literally having a new baby, sleep deprivation, and trying to keep up with all the things, it was painful because I skipped dosages and I felt every ounce. Long story short, take the medicine, take care of yourself, and do exactly what your doctor tells you to do. Here are some tips that I wrote down. I wish somebody would have told me. You cough, sneeze, or laugh, have a pillow. Take this pillow, put it right here, and hold it real tight. It will be a barrier between that scar because you don't have any muscles down there, and it's still healing, and it's super soft, and you need something to push up against it. Also, drinking out of a straw versus just a cup. One of the nurses, she was so sweet. She kept telling me, you want to make sure you drink out of a straw when you take your medicine. I felt comfortable enough, and of course, with the consent of a nurse, I started walking around whenever I could, even if it was small movements, adjusting myself in the bed, going to the bathroom, like whatever it was, I at least tried to move. So that helped a lot too. And then my husband helped a lot, especially during that recovery time because I couldn't do a lot. So it's basically time for her feeding. We don't have a rocking chair. Baby holds her milk in her mouth, and sometimes she coughs it up. So we're gonna just pretend that this is a recliner so that I can lean back, and she has more control over the milk since I have a very fast letdown. It's easy for the words to roll off my lips saying that I chose to breastfeed when that's not entirely true. I planned to have breastfed, but I knew that it depended on if my baby could latch, if my breast could produce milk, my mental state. When it came to how I was gonna feed my baby, I'm being completely honest, I remember getting a pump. I don't think I forced it. We were open to other options. I bought my pump to the hospital, which I highly recommend because you are presented with a lactation consultant who answers all of your questions, which is a beautiful thing. And because we had a lactation consultant, I asked all of the questions, y'all, because I knew this was all new to me. I had done my research about how difficult breastfeeding was. I wanted to make sure that I utilized the time that the lactation consultant was scheduled for my room to ask her all all of the questions, to have her monitor, look over us, give us suggestions. We started off breastfeeding at the hospital by the help of a lactation consultant.
We are breastfeeding at the ripe and early time of 3:30. Latching is progressing.
However, my baby did latch easily and quickly. My lactation consultant was at the end of my bed, and she monitored and guided how my baby should latch. My nipples were very sore at the hospital, so they ended up giving me nipple shields, and my breasts were engorged, as expected after giving birth to a baby, because that's when your milk usually comes in, and mine did come in at the hospital. She was just super helpful. She was like, look at you, okay, this is what you want to look out for. You want to make sure she's swallowing this way, lift her head here, make sure you're comfortable, mama. Popping up all the pillows around me. I remember it being such a one-on-one intimate session, non-stressful one. I've decided to once a day, because I do have a lot of letdown. They even tell you like how to use your pump, what number to have it on it for suction. I even have to change out the flames. He measured me and told me which ones I needed. My letdown is too fast for her, so I'm pumping right now, and we have a warm bottle. She getting her diaper changed, and then we're just gonna feed her. Usually just attach these back on because I'm not done pumping yet. Usually one gets more full than the other where I have to stop. I've been pumping every morning, and this is the result. It's not like excessive, but I'm so proud of this. First like couple of weeks and months, I was probably calling them, going up to the lactation room every other day, every week. I did have an overproduction of milk, which equated to a fast letdown. That was pretty scary when it came to nursing my baby, because she would either cough it up, which sometimes felt like choking at that time. Like I had no idea how to decipher the two, but she had a hard time swallowing. It was very scary. Yesterday, I fed our daughter, set her up, and y'all, she projectile milk everywhere. She looked at me, tilted her head back, and this all was quick, and milk literally like came out like a waterfall. And then it happened again, and the second time that it happened, it came through her nose. Then it kept coming through her nose, and I was like, oh my gosh, baby. I was like, breathe, baby, breathe. And I'm like holding her close. I'm like soaked in milk between my legs. It's on the couch, it's on my shirt. I mean, it's everywhere, but at this point I do not care. And then she just like looked at us and just smiles, and I'm like, I have fast letdown, and I produce a lot of milk. Oftentimes I have to monitor. I always monitor my baby when she's drinking. I guess she just took in way too much yesterday. I was like, let's call lactation and let's call our pediatrician right now. They were like, oh yeah, if this hasn't never happened before, it is so common. And she was like, I don't want you to stop feeding her, and I don't want you to stop feeding her on demand when she's hungry. This is perfectly normal. That's one of the reasons why I was at lactation all the time, because they show me multiple different ways of how to prop her up so that I can control what was coming out, and so that she had a little bit better grip on how much was coming out as well, which is why I used the whole pillows as a recliner situation. After a while, my breasts were getting more and more engorged because I was producing so much milk, which is again a huge blessing. I could not keep up with the production of milk. So baby girl slept for 7 hours, which means I didn't pump in 7 hours, and I got 15.5 ounces of milk. You better believe one of my breasts was engorged, because she ate off the left side before she went to sleep, but not the right side. Lactation was free through our insurance. The pump is free through your insurance. I would just call your insurance and literally ask them what benefit comes with pregnancy or postpartum, and we used every single bit of everything that insurance came with. It was definitely an adjustment. Some nights I cried because I felt like I was using a haka to express like every hour, every 2 hours. But once I got the hang of it, I just had the mentality like, I get to do this. I'm going to do this. This is how I feed my baby. So I truly was blessed to be able to breastfeed my baby. And I can say 1.5 years later, I am still currently breastfeeding. My breastfeeding journey has definitely been a roller coaster of an array of emotions. Lots of high highs, low lows, an intentional shift of the mindset constantly, lots of sacrifices, and this closeness that has drawn me and my daughter together like no other. There is joy, there is proud moments,
You wanna hold my hand, mama?
To be able to experience this intimate moment with her, something that is truly beautiful and unforgettable. I also want to encourage you that even if your baby doesn't latch, or if breastfeeding isn't something you are interested in, do whatever is best for you, your baby, your mental health. Because at the end of the day, the lactation consultants are literally there for you and baby, and they have alternatives. They are literally trained, educated to help. At the end of the day, is your baby getting fed. Your baby is not gonna get fed. I went from expressing and nursing to pumping. That was the advice through my lactation consultant. And they showed me how to do it as well in a safe way so that my body wouldn't get confused. I think my baby was eating double the amount because then your body would just produce more and more and more, and that's not what we wanted. That's the reason why I said, like, they are literally trained and educated and certified in this area. I highly recommend using them. And because we didn't have anybody come and visit us, that was a boundary we set, because we also knew that we were gonna have all the doctors and the nurses in there. We were only going to be there for a certain amount of days. I wanted to make sure that we got as much help as we could get while we were at the hospital. They literally answered all thousands of my questions. To this day, they still be answering my questions because I am still currently nursing my baby.
I was pumping and I felt sick. It almost is like my body needs my baby. Postpartum isn't just baby to mom, but mom need baby too. The second I held her, that sadness disappeared. I know they say babies release some type of hormones that helps me want to feel better, but also helps my milk come in. Notice that last night I literally felt lighter the second I held her. And she wasn't even far. She was literally like across the bed. My husband was holding her.
Pros of breastfeeding. My baby is being fed. Watching her grow. Realizing that feeding her, I am contributing to her growth and her health. And it's been like a beautiful thing to see. She's able to nurse her any and everywhere. Having bottles on hand also gave me the privilege to be able to take a step back and let my husband step in to feed her. I was able to get a break, go out, stay out, my nails done, rest, sleep through the night. The load of feeding her all day, 3 hour on the hour, wasn't solely on me anymore. So it really helped over time to get that help. Now granted, I still wanted to nurse her.
Gotta eat, mama. Now she thinks it's playtime.
Because that's how I felt connected to her, and breastfeeding is such a beautiful and sweet experience, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to experience it. And for a year and a half I was pumping. Just recently, maybe 3 weeks ago, I stopped pumping because we are at the stage where my baby is eating solids and she is drinking whole milk. Our 4-month pediatrician appointment, we now can introduce her to food. We are still nursing maybe 2 or 3 times a day, or whenever she desires it. We have not fully stopped breastfeeding yet, and we don't plan to unless she's uninterested or my milk just dries up. I still find myself wanting to nurse her whenever I can. I'm just not quite ready to end this journey. I remember one of my friends actually told me that at the beginning you are on your baby's schedule, and as time passes your baby becomes on your schedule. And I get it now. Recently I have been wanting to do a lot more, so now we are at the place where I am nursing her maybe once or twice a day, or truly when she gets sick. There's been a lot of comfort feeding, especially when she's sick. It changes, but we have now gone down to about like 1 to 2 feedings, and it's also because she's eating solids now, which is a whole nother ball game. All smiles now, but I was definitely in tears earlier. This was my husband and I first time going to church and dropping our baby off at the nursery. We wanted to kind of start having some normalcy back into our lives, like getting around people, actually sitting in a service. I lost it. I was nervous. We feel more of a connection with her, so it's even harder for us now to leave her with just anybody. I knew it was something that I had to do. It was gonna be hard for me. Volunteers or those who work in that area, so sweet, they answered all our questions. They were like, you could just go to worship, and after worship you can come back and you can go sit in the nursery room and watch it on television. I was like, okay, we're gonna do that. And then we sit in worship, and before you know, we sat through the whole service. And they were like, y'all made it, y'all made it. They like cheered for us when we came up to go pick her up. That was so sweet. It's never easy leaving your child with somebody else, and it's our first as well. Today was my first day. I dressed up in lipstick. I did a little makeup. Our village coming at a cost, what isn't just financially. It's us not willing to have everybody to watch our child. We have more peace and we have options. Went to the nursery. There was 2 other moms in there. I just immediately felt sad. I didn't talk to them. I didn't show eye contact. It felt like I didn't want to be bothered, and that's not like me. I just felt closed off. Like, you can tell I wasn't trying to talk to them, and it was in that moment I didn't like how I was coming off, and I was like, there's an issue that I need to deal with. I feel like I haven't heard silence in the last 4 weeks now. 5 weeks. Today I make 5 weeks postpartum, and our baby is 5 weeks old. My postpartum journey, if I have to sum it up, has been moments of not feeling like myself. I've definitely have cried and gone through the baby blues. I prepared, I read. The one thing that caught me off guard was feeling lost. I'm so grateful I have not had postpartum depression. Looking back, editing this video, I was getting emotional because I hadn't realized how far I've come. And even you will see too that I felt so stuck and so lost and confused because I had an expectation about postpartum that wasn't truly a reality. And plot twist, postpartum lasts longer than 6 weeks. It was just so hard and difficult. It was a lot to consume. I have been feeling quite lost. I know a friend told me you're gonna get to a point where you feel lost and you question everything. You're going to grieve the person you used to be, and you are going to become a whole new person now that you're a mom. Your interests are gonna change. As somebody who's very structured, organized, there has been none of that. I truly began to lose my identity. It wasn't necessarily like in motherhood, but I just didn't know what I liked. I just stopped liking everything I previously did before I had a baby. Realized that I don't like our design style anymore. I cried. I love home decor. It's the part of who I am. I tell my story through it. I've come a long way to create this safe environment. I am uninspired by a lot of accounts. And I didn't know who I was becoming. I think that's the best way to explain it. I didn't know who I was becoming. Thinking of it from a content creator, new mom perspective. I'm so afraid of using this time away from her and I'm gonna miss something. I'm also afraid of being behind in my work. And I don't wanna miss out on these opportunities with her. But I still wanna be creative and show up. I just don't know what that looks like yet. Because I wanna show up and share things that I've been buying, new things I'm interested in, because I'm changing, y'all. I am changing. So overwhelmed because I'm such a structured person. There might be days where I just do not feel like showing up again. This moment is just so unpredictable. I really enjoy my breaks and rest. Something I don't regret. And it's funny, as I'm saying this right now, if you're watching this, that means that I have had the time to edit this video and put it out. I guess to my future self, you did it, girl. I did it. It's possible, it's just gonna look different. This video gonna be all over the place, but this is what postpartum looks like. I've been in a daze. I feel that I really don't know what day it is. The majority of days, I don't have any concept of time. Like Christmas went by so fast. New Year's Eve was here. I didn't even realize it was New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Day, like happy January 1st. Happy New Year, y'all. I just feel like I'm going and going. Basically, I'm just trying to survive. When I looked up sleep deprivation, everything on that list checked off for me. Things being hazy, not being able to retain information, short attention span, quick to snap off because you're tired. I didn't realize how much that would impact me mentally. And I am somebody who's very structured. I like to reflect, I like to journal, and I have not been able to have the time to do that. So you can just imagine that my world has been feeling chaotic because there's so much going on up here that I need to write down. Every day is different. It's hard, it's lovely, fun, it's exciting, beautiful. On the other hand, I definitely am like not feeling like myself. I don't know what it would look like getting back to myself. I think we're birthing a new person, so I may not be able to go back to the old person. I'm gonna probably learn a new way to have my morning routine, or it might not be morning routine. I'm gonna learn a new way of how to grow into this new woman I'm supposed to become. I think there's this like butterfly effect that I'm gonna transform into a whole new person. So I just forced myself to get up early today. to get dressed, get myself together. Got in the shower uninterrupted, did my skincare routine because I've been into skincare now. I want to take care of my skin because it really went through it during my pregnancy. I brushed my teeth. I also went out with a friend and got my nails and feet done, which was really nice. An article that I read was like, make sure you take time to get out the house and not just to your pediatrician appointment. And I cracked up because that's literally all I've been going to. I really haven't gotten out and did anything for myself. As far as my body, if I'm being honest, I really do try not to think about it. You know, I can go down a rabbit hole and lose sight that I just had a baby. I'm gonna show you how my stomach looks. And we're currently 2 weeks postpartum. I have not researched, asked questions. I kind of just been in my head about like, I wonder if this will go away, if my stomach will go back to its normal color. It's really been a mental thing. Also, my stomach will never be the same. And everybody say you should wear it as a problem. You just had a baby. And trust me, I'm very proud. Something to still get used to. I've never had this issue in my life. Extra weight or the wrinkles or the stretch marks. One of those days where I am just not feeling the best and I've been crying all day. She just made 11 weeks yesterday and I'm just tired. I just woke up today realizing that I suppressed my thoughts a lot. Yesterday I wore this pink jumpsuit and I was going to tuck the jumpsuit underneath my bra because I usually wear it that way. My stomach is so dark. It doesn't even look like this complexion. It looks like this. The color jet black. I've been just trying to not think about it because I'm supposed to be happy that I grew a baby, right? I mean, if baby with my stomach out again. So I keep researching. This topic doesn't really come up often because I see online it's about the linea nigra, not when the whole stomach is dark. And I wonder if that is just what happens in us dark-skinned girls. And I don't know what I should do about it. That's been on my conscience because I feel insecure about it. All my life I could wear crop tops, my stomach out. Now all of a sudden it just has stopped. And I do not feel like myself. Feel that I'm starting to have mild depression. And it's different just having like a bad or a good day. I can tell like I'm in my thoughts a lot. I'm just starting to feel like insecure about my body. I also want to be sensitive to those who are thicker and who have always had stretch marks. Not talking about that. No matter what size you are, when you have a baby, it transforms you. It does not matter. Yes, I might be small, but I'm still dealing with having to go through the fact that my body would never look the same way before. Lips are getting so much better. Literally was over here purchasing Burt's Bees natural organic chapstick, doing lip mask. Nothing worked. My lips just kept peeling off. I mean, to the point where now they were just like puffy red. They look like duck lips at some point. When I got in the shower, it'd be like this white cast off. You can literally just peel it off. It was so bad. I had to call my OB because I didn't think that this was a pregnancy issue. What I thought literally by surprise was one of the outwardly things that you saw that took effect because of my pregnancy. And I thought it would go away once I had her, but it just got worse. I called my OB. I thought it was a silly question to ask because I am in postpartum. They were like, no, use hydrocortisone on your lips because it'll help with lessening the inflammation, with the color changing. Every day is getting lighter and lighter and lighter. I've been using it for 2 weeks every day and I put Aquaphor on in the mornings, hydrocortisone at night, and you can literally see over melanin of my lips is reverting back to its normal color. My skin is clearing up. Just breaking out so much during my pregnancy. And I just wanted a better skincare routine. When I realized that your skincare should be based on skin type, it changed everything for me. I have very dry skin. Why do I not have any products that are hydrating? Once I started switching over the majority of my products to hydrating products, it changed everything. I've lost 30 pounds. I was originally 124. Then I gained throughout my pregnancy. I ended up being 160 at 40 weeks. Currently 134. I'm not doing anything, absolutely nothing. I remember my OB did tell me that you lose a lot of the weight because most of it is the baby, the placenta, the blood. And as far as my body, yes, I look small. Someone told me yesterday, like, you look small. And I wanted to cry because that doesn't excite me. I did my first 30-minute workout. I went for 10 minutes. It's hard. I think I realized how much strength I lost after pregnancy. My body feels like noodles, flimsy. I even noticed I'm always just tired. And there was one part of exercise, I was on my stomach and you were supposed to use your abs, but there's nothing there. So I was on my ribs. So I didn't move forward with it, but I just realized my legs feel flimsy, my arms feel very weak. And for somebody who has always been fit and worked out, like all of that went away when you have a baby because your body stretches. For me, I just want to make sure that I'm strong, more so than fit. I want my strength back.
like noticing now that they can come inside of your home and put your groceries away.
Let me show you, you're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. And if you get blue, I got the
Mamas sign up for the Walmart drop off. My husband and I was talking about this when I was pregnant, and he would go back to work, or even before he went to work, we were like, this was gonna be so handy for us. And now that he's back at work, this is super convenient. Like, you saw that the guy literally dropped everything off at our door. It's something that we've been using while I was pregnant, thinking it might be hard to try to go to the store with a newborn, leave out the house doing my recovery. Might as well just sign up for it and see how it works. And we've been loving it ever since, and we just kept on with the membership. The other day, I felt this kick in my stomach, but I didn't think anything of it. And I felt it again, and I actually put my hand over my stomach, like waiting for another kick, like as if there was a baby inside of my stomach. That evening, I get an article from What to Expect in my email, and sure enough, they talked about this, and it's called phantom kicks. It's when your brain register the kicks, quote unquote, in your stomach to be baby kicks. How do little babies make this many diapers? Oh my gosh. This was our last OB appointment, our 6-week postpartum OB appointment. It's so bittersweet. We went in there pregnant. We finished having a whole healthy baby. I'm officially at the 6-week mark. All the help that we had is coming to an end. Postpartum anxiety, postpartum rage, depression, loneliness, social anxiety, intrusive thoughts, and hypervigilance. I went through all of it.
I think about like even practical things that we can do. I like to think of like a baby shower should really be a mom shower. Baby, I love you. You're beautiful. You're great. You're awesome. But the mom also really needs to be held and supported. So I always recommend putting things on that like registry or what you're requesting that will also support you. It look like I'm going to start a little fund for a postpartum doula. Ask you about some very, very early warning signs. I would really be paying attention to the fluctuations in mood during pregnancy. Just for example, there was a study that was conducted that wanted to see, like for women in particular who experience perinatal depression, 40% of them had an onset during the postpartum period, but actually 33.4 were exhibiting symptoms during pregnancy.
How do I feel? Honestly, quiet. I know that's not a descriptive word, but it's the best way I can describe how I've been lately. Not been really wanting to talk because I don't quite understand what's happening. This is actually my first time driving again since 6 weeks postpartum, and since I've been pregnant. I want to get in the hang of driving again by myself. I'm also cleared to go back to normal activity, so it felt good to run down the stairs. It felt good to pick up the car seat with her in it. It felt good to just clean up the kitchen again. I thought I'd never get my energy back. I thought I'll never see my skin clear up again. Nobody ever tells you that stuff. I just thought I wouldn't be able to breathe normally again, or just do small things, because in that third trimester you're so exhausted, and I reached the 40-week mark full term. I just didn't think that I would back to normal. I am realizing as you all are watching this that I am not even giving you all context as to where I am mentally at this moment. I am not realizing that I just had a labor that I wasn't prepared for because I didn't foresee happening, and I didn't foresee the recovery process. I had an unplanned cesarean. It was not an emergency C-section, but it was one that was necessary to keep my baby and I safe. And although it went smoothly, I was up in the middle of the night wrecking my brain trying to figure out what in the heck happened during my labor. Who could I have talked to? What should I have done? Was there anything that could have changed? I just didn't have the language. I had never been bound. I never had surgery. I'd never been on bed rest, been in the hospital for this many days. It was all of this that took effect that I didn't realize caused so much grief, confusion, and loneliness. Because when you go through something as big as this, you need to be surrounded by people and love, or at least have somebody explain to you what happened. And at this particular time, I'm not even aware yet that this has played a huge role in my mental state. think the best way I can explain this is that I am grieving my previous life. Now I'm walking into this new life. I'm right in the middle. There's this tug of war. Call this beautiful chaos. And everybody keeps telling me it will not always be like this. It will get better. If I'm being honest, I don't know what that means, that it gets better. Yesterday, we went to church for a connect group party. We walked in the door, there was so much love. Everybody was surrounding us, hugging us, talking to us. Even one lady, I was like, after breastfeed, is there a bathroom? And she was like, yeah, it's right here. Let me go put a chair in there for you. Do you need anything else? And I was on the verge of crying. I couldn't figure out why I wanted to cry. And it felt like one of those cries that's been kept in or locked in deep down. I didn't know that I needed to release because I've been so quiet. And it wasn't until I left the party that I realized that we have been alone. We felt very lonely. And saying it out loud is hard. Guess we just tried to make it work. I mean, I have my friends who reach out to me, but it is nothing like having the presence of community, of support. And one thing that I have come to realize that I'm gonna always be impacted by, both of my parents not been present in my life. Like every big milestone in my life, I just wonder if things would be different. My mom or my dad would have spent the first 6 weeks with us just to have that help.
This is a topic that is painful for me to discuss because I have to constantly tell myself, remind myself that I am not a mistake, that my daughter is not a mistake, that God promised us and blessed us with a beautiful baby. He blessed me to be able to carry this little girl. And he knew the support that we would not have and the support that we would have. I have to cling to that because there have been so many times I got in my head. I remember those first 6 weeks. You hear people say like, my family came out of town, my mom stayed with me, my grandparents was over the house. Like we literally had to hire help. When things got really hard, I was just angry with God. So I'm like, we could have so much more help right now. I didn't realize how many people ask about grandparents. Have our grandparents met her? Family is complicated. There's just so many things, like the luxury to just have somebody to come over if we just needed like a simple break. I found myself being jealous of people who had their family. I envied those who had grandparents that just swoon over their kids. That hasn't been our reality. And as a primary caretaker, when I get sick, I still have to get up and take care of my baby, my husband. I manage the household, all the responsibilities that come with it, take care of everybody and everything. You don't get that break. I remember someone was saying that just because you do have family can physically help, they may not be the best for you mentally. There is a deficit to not having grandparents or parents helping you because I do believe it plays a significant role. I really do believe because we didn't start off having families around us that may have played a part in me being hypervigilant, especially with strangers. But God being Jesus has always sent people around us at the appropriate time. Whether it was a text, a call, whether someone sent us gift cards. I had a friend drop off food for us, and friends come over and eat tacos with us and sit on our couch and just talk to us. There's always somebody, even if they were passing by in this season, that have just helped us significantly. Even from the nanny. She was incredible. We had a babysitter who absolutely loved her. I'm telling y'all, it's like when people find that village, love on you, who are non-judgmental, who take care of your baby. Especially when you're in postpartum and you're so fragile, it's so important to have people around you who are compassionate. And I will say that God has truly gone before us in this area. He has made up for what we lacked. Because she's overstimulated, like she has to go back to a dark room. Seriously love this wrap. wrap so much. Not only does it look chic, it's really the main reason why I wanted it, other than literally carrying a baby and being hands-free, but I just love how it looks, and it goes with so many different outfits. I love it, and she's comfortable in it. She's literally falling asleep right now. I feel like I'm like a city girl mom. I just love this look. This new mom, chic, feminine vibe. I started wearing these head wraps with my braids, but I feel like super cute today. Not that I don't think that I look cute any other day. During postpartum, I'm mostly in sleepwear with spit up, a nursing bra down. I'm breastfeeding every couple of hours. I decided to just do a little makeup, a very natural, soft look. I go out now just to do a little bit to my face. So if I'm not wearing makeup, I like to do my morning skincare routine. At night, when I take my makeup off, do my night care skin routine, and it makes me feel so good. Like I feel refreshed, I feel put together, I just feel more confident. And so that's something that I've been doing for myself during postpartum. My husband went back to work today, and I'm nervous. Woke up and I just prayed. I kind of want to cry right now. I think it's just my natural response to being scared. Hopefully she stays asleep to 9. It's 8:30 right now. I know we can do it. The biggest fear is just when I get really tired, can't do anything, because my husband been here with me every day, and when I've just needed a break, I just literally hand her over to him, and to not have that help makes me a little nervous. I'm just gonna be thinking positive today, trusting God. We're gonna get through this. Prayer has been helped me to do what's important today. My first time taking her out for a walk today. This is the 3rd day since my husband went back to work, and today was a very quiet day, very lazy and chill. Kind of been in my feelings. Decided to combat a fear and go out by myself, taking a walk around the neighborhood, or something small that seems less fearful once you're out here doing it. The next big step is getting in the car and driving with her by myself. So far, things are going well. Get back. It wasn't too bad. It seemed so scary at first. I'm so glad I had the courage to take the stroller outside by myself. Y'all, it's Friday. It means I made it through a week with the newborn by myself. You know, you gotta get that quiet excitement going on. I'm so happy he's sleeping. I was able to take a shower today, do my skincare, put this little bandana on my head, put regular clothes on. It was so good. I brushed my teeth. I did not do any of this yesterday. I was nervous because I have not actually taken her out the house by myself with the Doula stroller. And that is a learning curve for me. My husband has been helping me with the stroller, putting it in and out of the car because I was recovering. So now that I have been cleared, I'm learning the stroller, and I'm just like terrified of taking her out somewhere and I can't unlock the handle to let the wheels fall, or I don't know how to put her in the car properly. Right now it seemed like so many steps to buckle her in the car, put the handlebar down, make sure you hear a click. It's a lot right now. I'm sure the more times that I do it, it will become easier. So yesterday I was like, let's just get out the house with the stroller so I can at least practice and get comfortable with it. And I did. It wasn't too bad. It was a little awkward. Never in my life walked down the street with the baby. So today I'm thinking about going to Target with her. This one is a little bit more of an obstacle to climb. Knowing that I have her, I'm gonna have the stroller, and I'm driving. I'm just trying to get comfortable. One thing that people don't talk about with the baby is riding with them in a car. Anything is bound to happen. It makes you want to pull that car over, like run to their rescue. Pediatrician appointment. She was crying so much, and I was like, we just fed you, we changed your diaper. What could it possibly have been? I took her out the car and her whole tongue was blood red. And I was like, that's why she's crying. And to come to find out, I think she scratched her tongue. What's wrong, mama? Babies are just unpredictable. Like, she makes 8 weeks tomorrow, y'all. I cannot believe I have a 2-month-old. I can't believe I had a baby 2 months ago. Stuff is just moving so fast. The takeaway from all of this to seeing another mom go through something helped me not to feel caught off guard. It's so new for me. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Please be kind. Remember how it was for you your first time going through this. My OB told me it was like my first or second day at the hospital. You gotta promise me this. I want to make sure that you set aside an hour a day for yourself. It will get hard. Even Jesus took the morning to himself to pray before he went out and started doing miracles or interacting with people. I've started a Moms Connect group. God has been pressing this on my heart continuously, and I've been doubting myself. What am I going to talk about? Baby just turned 9 weeks today. I focus so much on the fear of starting
a Moms Connect group versus thinking of it holistically as needing community. And I was grappled with fear and so many intrusive thoughts about what to do, how to start, what if moms don't show up, will they bring their babies out? And because let's face it, I was a new mom and I had no idea how to go about creating a mom's group when I had never been through this before. And that's pretty scary. But God was pressing it on my heart so much. And looking back now, it was because He knew how much I needed community.
Mama Times was a success.
How much other moms were dependent on a group like this as well. I met some of the sweetest moms. We talked about everything. We drew closer. We prayed for each other. We laughed together. It was so needed, especially since all of us had like fresh babies. Community like this is so needed. And I'm just so happy I was obedient.
Got back in from group. It was incredible. In a way, we're all kind of going through something different, yet similar. The changes in our body and our marriage. Go back to work. Do you stay at home? Questioning your entire being. Connecting with your kid. You have more than one child. How to connect with them. Stay sane. How not to feel guilty about taking time for yourself. How your relationship is with God. All in all, it was fulfilling. He knew that when things get hard, taking care of a whole newborn, I tend to retreat, isolate myself, and He knew that I couldn't do that if I held accountable. Now see why He had me to start this group. I needed this group just as much as everybody else in the group needed it. Just got back from her 2-month appointment, which I cannot believe she's 2 months old, and she had to get her shots today, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna be me or her hollering in there. And y'all, I drove with her for the first time today by myself. Spoke to the pediatrician about having baby blues, and she mentioned that I should reach out to my OB, and she was so kind. She actually gave me a hug and was like, postpartum is real. And I told her, I was like, it's just my memory. This day she still have to write stuff down, so I'm realizing this memory thing, a lot of moms have to deal with it. So that was comforting for her to give me a hug and tell me that I'm not alone in this. Good to just have told somebody that. I realized that sleep deprivation has really taken over. I looked up the symptoms, and I'm probably checking off all those. Like, I'm slow in my thinking. My memory is not as sharp. I say things that I don't even know why I said it. I stumble across my words. It's hard for me to maintain a conversation, to be engaged, because I'm just so tired, and it's like my brain is trying to quadruple work on listening to a person, like overwork at this point. It's really hard for me. I have a short attention span, a short temper. I'm just like spazzing out, blow up where I'm like crying, because it's like I just can't take it no more. I'm just tired. It's the first time I actually said it out loud that I do not feel like myself, and I was so scared to actually say that. That's indicating that I possibly am losing myself. It's crazy because she's getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep now, like, thank God. And you would think that at this point I would be rested, but I'm still tired. And I keep asking myself, why am I still so tired? I don't get time off. Once you're pregnant, your body just constantly working, but then you go into labor for God knows how many hours. You recover at the hospital and you sit right home and you gotta start being a mom. And I think my body just needs to recover. Like, it needs like at least 4 8-hour nights. But I don't know if that sounds silly. I'm just trying to make sense of why I'm still tired and she's getting 6 to 7 hours. And not to even mention that my breast getting engorged, so I have to wake up when she doesn't. And on top of that, we have laundry on the couch right now, dishes in the sink. I just wanted to show real life how our house look. I'm just exhausted today. And then I have my life group on Wednesday. I want to cancel it. I'm going to stick to this. We're in week 11. Nap time is getting harder. Well, she won't go down and go to sleep. Same thing that worked a week ago or 2 weeks ago don't work now that she's getting older. Spending the last 20 minutes trying to put her to sleep, and I'm talking to y'all, and guess what she's doing? Going to sleep. If I want to do anything, I can't because she wants to be in my arms, which I'm all for it. However, like, I'm so hungry right now. I'm so hungry, I'm starving. Breastfeeding empties me out. I feel depleted. Just need to put her down for a moment so that I can go make breakfast. But usually she wakes up and cries all over again. Try to just keep moving with her. And I do the arm test, and if she's limp enough, I can put her down. But she's smart. She like opens one eye to make sure I'm still there. But I love these moments of just holding her. It just, I can't do both. You're probably thinking like I could put her in the wrap, I'm gonna put her in the bouncer, so I'm gonna wake her if I'm doing too much movement. She's so sweet. Having a baby changes your entire life. It's such a cliche saying, but it is so true. And you begin to think, value, respect, have a deeper meaning about life, people, family, jobs, everything. You really start to think about everything now that you bring this little human into the world. For me, it was overwhelming because I had tried to change everything at one time. I lost it because decision fatigue became real. Always thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and not like to not be in control. It kind of started to fall off when I realized that my morning routine would look different because I had no routine. This has been my entire day. Every time I move, she cries. I didn't realize how important that routine was for me. I just realized like, man, I do need my quiet time. And I just felt outside of my window of tolerance. I also knew that because I had experienced postpartum depression and anxiety prior to having a baby, I was more inclined to experience it in postpartum, which I thought I had prepared for, but I didn't prepare for not getting a break. So I'm like running on empty, burnout, just sadness because it's just too much. And we moved. Okay. Got off the phone with a therapist. I found my therapist I have now on blackgirlsfortherapy.com, and I had her for 3 years. I don't think she specialized in perinatal or postpartum. I want to make sure that I'm understood. I just feel alone in it, and I don't understand it. And when I don't understand something, I feel trapped. I feel lost. Nobody else is going through this. Feel ashamed. I want to isolate myself. Like many of you all, especially on social media, you'll often hear postpartum essentials, creating a postpartum card, all the things that would help you that were tangible. But I didn't quite hear about the mental state, the invisible load, the anxiety. I don't know how many times I'm gonna put in this video, but sleep deprivation is a real thing. Can't stress this enough. Like, it's a whole issue. I could definitely use the help, and I knew going into this we wouldn't have help. She needs to take a nap, and she hasn't taken a nap yet. Doesn't allow me to, like, you know, do much, which is okay. I just knew today I really want to look into a therapist. It takes a lot of courage, mama, to say that you need help. She slept for 37 minutes, which isn't bad. Something that I've read and I want to share with other moms, having the expectations that your baby take cat naps, 30 to 40 minute cat naps during the day, but this little girl has been sleeping 6 to 7 hours a night now. But that's an expectation for parents, if you did not know, and I'm sure every baby is completely different. I help you to lay down any expectations of getting anything done longer than 40 minutes. It helps save you so much frustration.
about to hop on my therapy appointment. It's the next day. To be honest, I just feel sad. I feel very confused about what I'm going through. I don't know how to explain it. So I have all this stuff that's going on in my mind that I'm gonna go over with my therapist. My therapist is a cognitive behavior therapist. I've always had one who focused on the cognitive behavior aspect, and she's also solution oriented. They help me to process what I'm feeling, come up with solutions for them, which is what I'm in dire need of right now.
I am a type A person. You're gonna hear me say that so much in this video. I read and I researched and I prepared to prevent postpartum depression and postpartum rage, which I didn't even know was a thing, and postpartum anxiety. And I remember telling my postpartum therapist, I remember her literally adjusting her seat, smirking in a non-judgmental way, but she was like ready to tell me what she was going to tell me next. And she said, "You don't get to choose." That was an eye-opener, because I think so many times, especially on social media, we hear like hacks and ways to prevent it and all these things, and I realized like sometimes you can't prevent postpartum anxiety, depression, all these things. And these symptoms definitely snuck up on me over time. Sometimes it takes more than just a hack. It may take professional help. It may take advocating for yourself and speaking up. It may take taking a break.
I'm looking at a mom now getting in her car. I realize it's a whole new world. Seeing babies everywhere around me now. I seeing moms everywhere around me now. Where before I just like walk past them because I wasn't in that world. I was afraid to hold a baby. I mean, I literally hold my child with one hand now. Don't even think twice about it. I literally see a woman walking with 3 kids right now. Women are doing this everywhere, all over the world. Like I see another mom. Like I see so many moms now that I just didn't see before. They were always there to encourage me that I can do this.
I finally opened up to other moms. I didn't realize how common it was to feel invisible as a mother. I still feel very invisible as a mom. Does everybody love on my baby? The attention goes all to the baby in and outside the house. Especially outside the house. The amount of strangers that literally flock to my baby, it's almost like, dang, I didn't birth this child. No, I wasn't in labor for this long. No, she doesn't look like me. She really doesn't look like me. She looks just like her dad. But it's just the amount of times people don't say absolutely nothing to me. I don't get a congratulations. I don't get like, you're doing a good job. Just kind of looked over. You hear so much, it's about the baby. Postpartum is about the mom and the baby. I just wish there was a way that moms received a little bit more love and not just on Mother's Day.
Down in her crib for nap time. Me. It's probably been over 2 months since she has not taken a nap inside of my arms. She's asleep. Let me get off of this camera so I can actually go and do something. Because this hasn't happened in over 2 months. I'm literally sitting on the couch every single day during nap time and I can't even do anything. She just woke up. I actually started feeling bad because I'm like, there's no way she's getting sleep with these reflexes. So I'm about to grab her and hold her. We tried. I want to share this app that our doula actually recommended to us the first day that she was over our home. It's called Baby Tracker. We've been using this app since my daughter was an infant. And we originally was tracking her feeding since I was nursing. A lot of the time the doctors would ask how often she ate, how much she ate. And now that she's a toddler, we mainly use it to keep up with how often she eats. We also like to use it to keep up to date with her diapers because, again, if she goes to the doctor, they ask how many diapers, how many wet diapers has she had and what type of diapers are they. And then lastly, we use it for sleep just to keep up to date with how much she's been sleeping, and that determines the amount of naps or how long she was sleeping. I started to notice when I was pregnant my vision was a little bit blurry, which I had known that was a symptom of pregnancy. Having our daughter, my eyesight has gotten worse, and what I think it might be is because I'm constantly holding her and looking at her so close
that everything far away is becoming super blurry.
The doctor said it's 100% dry eyes. It's a possibility that my eyesight will remain blurry even after he give me the eye drops because of just postpartum and because I'm breastfeeding. All temporary. It's gonna fluctuate. And I'm getting some new glasses.
It's the last pack of size 1 diapers we have before we have to start buying it on our own.
This is wild. Reported that I didn't have any hair loss that I know of other than the handful of hair from the tangling. I've never in my life have had a problem with bald spots. I have very strong hair follicles. I'm quite familiar when my hair is thinning out, getting ready to on my scalp. I just noticed I had a bit of hair shed. It feels tender because on this side, I just guess I expected there to be more hair here, but again, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. A little sad. Another thing that I can't explain. I don't know if that's postpartum or what. I know, does it keep happening or am I like done? Like this is it. This is the big moment when my hair and my edges fall out. My hair. Just looked it up and on Google because I research everything on Google these days, and it says postpartum hair loss is normal part of pregnancy and childbirth and won't affect your baby. Any new moms see noticeable hair loss a few months after having a baby. This is normal and is not true hair loss. Dermatologists refer to this condition as excessive hair shedding. Shedding is caused by falling estrogen levels. You know this is coming, but it's another thing when it actually happens. It's something that I'll eventually get over it to grow back, but it's just like it's like another thing. So I did my hair, and in fact, I think I did lose a lot of hair because it's not as big as it was the first time I did it, but at the same time, I think I did a lot of manipulating to it. I've definitely lost my edges. It's tender to the touch. I even have to be careful how I put my hair in a ponytail. Now I understand when they say postpartum is tender, it's hard. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and I'm fully been affected by it. The whole entire being, down from what I eat, my lips being so dry, breast being engorged. Loss of my hair hits my self-esteem. And glasses, they look very cute, I think, but my eyesight, blurry. It feels like a heavy weight of sadness. It's just a lot. I'm processing it in real time.
Something that no one had told me is how often and common babies get sick or something's always happening with them.
It was another day that was hard. My daughter, we've been having issues with eczema. Very, very bad eczema that keeps getting flared. It breaks my heart to see her skin like this. It just keeps getting worse and worse. It looks like it hurts. She is in pain. It looks dry. It looks itchy. Just tearing her up. Her skin is just super sensitive and she has to go through all of this. Her pediatrician recommended this ointment. Instructions were like, don't put a lot, put a thin layer because it can thin out her skin. And I'm like, I'm not gonna put something on her that's gonna thin out her skin. But when I went to the pediatrician appointment, she explained it to me. And I'll still just feel very iffy by putting anything on her skin that has the possibility of thinning out. Like, we have different ideas of what thinning is. I don't even wanna do that. So I think we're just gonna go back to straight Aquaphor. She is a trooper. It's like when she gets hot, her eczema flares up. It's like right here, that usually gets red and behind her elbows. Once I put this combo on here, it goes literally back to normal. We figured out the issue, the root problem. We are just keeping it at bay. Oh, you just spit up. Are you okay? It's literally in your hair. Diapers coming apart. Oh my God, y'all hear her laugh? I got it on camera. I've been trying to get her laugh on camera. My daughter's skin looks so much better. 1,000 times better. It's nothing like when your baby who cannot communicate their pain have something like eczema or a rash or dry skin or itchy or just do any type of pain and they can't communicate it and you don't know how it feels. And we tried everything. We tried Baby Aveeno, made it worse. We went back to Aquaphor. Let me show y'all what we used. Aquaphor and hydrocortisone, and we felt like it really wasn't doing much because at night it would flare up again. So we thought, let's swap out her swaddle to something that was lighter because we know that she would be hot. So it was eczema, and the heat was causing her skin to flare up overnight. So once we swapped her out, we started to notice a difference. It was still like a steady pace of just bumps, and it'll get red and then it'll go white and then it'll go red and go white. So then our doctor was telling us that there are babies that sometimes heal light and dark. So our baby heals light, which is a good sign that it's healing. We recently switched up our hydrocortisone to the one that's specifically focused on eczema, and there is a big difference, y'all. I'm literally about to take a picture of her body and send it to our pediatrician just to show them that it's working, and I'm so happy and proud. Like, it was truly making us sad. But we've been using baby Aquaphor along with hydrocortisone, and this one specifically is for intensive healing formula, and it works for psoriasis and eczema. There's another hydrocortisone that is good too, but it doesn't focus on eczema, and that's the one we were using prior, and we didn't see a significant difference overnight. Significant. I was even hesitant putting it back on because I was like, we don't even really need this anymore. Like, it's going away and healing so well. So definitely talk to your pediatrician, talk to physician first before you do this. But if y'all done tried everything, Aquaphor and hydrocortisone together worked so well on our baby.
My baby, as I mentioned earlier, has been to the ER last week. An ear infection broke out from the medicine that was given to her. She had croup, hand, foot, and mouth because we just didn't know what we didn't know.
Babies go through so much. She's only 12 weeks. Gone through extreme eczema, a bleeding neck, fatal cap, hyper rash, a bleeding tongue, puffiness in the eyes. It's like yellow, icky goo around her eyes. So she has been through a lot. And I took her in today, and she's healthy, she's good, she's 12 pounds.
Now that we've been in this for a little bit longer, and when she does get like a fever and stuff, we know how to take care of it. It's also been comforting to have doctors and nurses literally at your hands. Walk-ins have been lifesavers as well.
Last night, caught my eye, so fly, oh my, I've been thinking about you all night, I can't get you off my mind, I'm out on deep water, it's too late, I've crossed the border, I'm bitten hard by Cupid, babe, hurry, I need to be safe.
Sitting here watching Karma's World with my daughter at that sit-in, and I'm over here getting teary-eyed at the second episode about her hair, and I just love this representation. I love this TV show. Young black girl who loves to rap. She's finding out that world that she's in, people look at her differently because of her skin color, because of her hair, where she's come from. And every episode shows how to overcome it. We did not have this growing up. The little girl wanted to change her hair. Mama had to tell her, like, you come from a long line of black women who have beautiful hair. You don't speak for all of them. I even needed that reminder. It was refreshing. You can be around people for so long and you begin to doubt your own uniqueness. That is literally why representation matters for people who don't have it. This is on Netflix. Netflix has Karma's World that we watch. Motown musical. She loves music.
At our gender reveal, when the confetti popped out, you will see my face and you will see my husband's face and literally his whole body language. We swore up and down we were going to have a boy. And we were so excited. We were so excited to have a girl. More so, just having a healthy baby. We went through layers of emotions. Excited, we were shocked, and we were stunned. Sitting in the car quiet after the gender reveal. After processing my emotions, I realized that this initially was scary. And I said God has a sense of humor. It meant that I had to face the reality of entering motherhood, having a mother-daughter relationship when I never had a healthy one. So I don't know what this looks like. And I immediately thought that I would fail in it. God has truly shown his hand on the way I love my daughter. It comes to me so naturally. I shouldn't be loving my daughter the way I am. The patience, allowing her to make decisions for herself, disciplining her in love, letting her be the first one to pull away from a hug when we hug. It's pure, it's so sweet, it's so delicate. The way she looks at me, the way she knows that I protect her, it's so beautiful. It's joyous, it's bundled up with all of God's grace, y'all. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I truly love being mom. I love being my daughter's mom. It's redemptive, the healing and the things that are breaking off. Someone said, your kids will know love Everything that happened to me growing up stops at me. You can see that now. My therapist said the same thing. She said, I'm so glad your daughter has you as a mom because you have insight. You have data. She said, you're giving her what you wish the little girl in you had. I'm always advocating for my daughter. I truly just love her so much.
Process of me becoming hypervigilant. At this time, I didn't even know there was a word for it. I thought I was just being protective, being a mama bear. I've heard other moms use that word. I'm thinking at this particular time, I'm protective over her when we had a doula in our home because she's a new baby. She can't talk. All of those things are true. And later on down the line, with much therapy, and finally when I do see a postpartum therapist, I am informed that the way I protect my daughter, the fierceness, the vigilance, always been aware, can't rest, actually stems from my childhood, how the little girl in me was never protected. There's this level of unhealthy protection. I would be fuming with anxiety. I wouldn't rest. I always be on guard, like super guard. And I know that's needed when you have a child, but at the level that I was functioning, I had to realize that there needs to be a healthy boundary. But it also caused me to have to revisit my past to see what happened there that is causing me to be who I am today. You fear what you don't know. Disassociate from things that cause so much trauma or even so much pain. And I don't want to protect my daughter at the cost that I don't let her enjoy being a child. And I only knew that there was an issue when my therapist brought it up. And I'm still working through that now.
I go to God about what to give her that I didn't have because I can completely understand how that could get out of hand because you become obsessed with trying to do all the things for your child and it's like, they don't even want that. So I am mindful of what I give to her, whether that is love or tangible or how to mother her. It's indescribable. I think I had decision fatigue initially because I tried to decide on everything because motherhood is a roller coaster. A lot is not in your control. When things are not in my control, I try to control other things in other places. And it came with my identity. Even the way I dress, my wardrobe has completely changed. Makeup has changed for me. My design style has changed tremendously. I'm gravitated towards so much color.
My style has transformed so much. I used to be a skirt girl, a dress girl, tight-fitting clothes girl. Now that I'm in postpartum, a lot of these clothes I just do not resonate with anymore. My pre-pregnancy size, but nothing fits. How beautiful is this? Now that I nurse, a lot of my tops I can't wear without a nursing bra. I already started like putting stuff here that I can't fit. I want to call this old phase, play a safe phase. I bought this pre-pregnancy. Believe it or not, yes, it's a top. It is an adult top. But I laugh now because I'm like, who gonna wear this? I got it from Nordstrom Rack. Last small, still got the tag on it. These are all the tops that I'm keeping. These are all of my bottoms, all of the dresses that I'm keeping. 4 pair of denim, 2 pairs of denim shorts, and all the clothes that I'm donating. When I was pregnant, I began to start feeling my sexiest, starting to own my sexuality. I felt the best I have ever felt pregnant. All the pieces that I have left are the pieces I wore when I was pregnant. That is the new me. A lot of them was Tabitha Brown line that she had at Target, a lot of colors, patterns, fun pieces. That is the new me. A little bit I know I'm transitioning then. First pair of postpartum jeans. I walked our closet probably 3 times since gutting it out yesterday. It feels so good to really see everything. I touch every single piece and everything that I knew I was never gonna wear, I can't fit in postpartum, I got rid of it. Starting to want quality pieces versus quantity.
Better late than never for us to come around. Better late than never for all that was lost once again be found. Yeah, baby, it's clear for all to see that 1 and 1 makes 3 perfectly. Better late than never for you and me.
The last time I had my doctor's appointment was when I was pregnant, and woo, the pain was intolerable. It was so bad. Skin reacted to it, and I broke out. On a scale from 1 to 10, it was nowhere near how it was when I was pregnant.
You were there. Better late than never.
My new mom era, all bold colors, and I've never gotten anything outside of like white or pink. I told my nail esthetician that every time I come to her, the goal is to get a new nail color.
Once again be found. Yeah, baby, it's clear from wrong to see that 1 and 1 makes 3 perfectly. Better late than never for you and me. Better late than never.
It is official, y'all. I do not like tea anymore. I tried to make it at home. In that moment that it dawned on me that it tasted like dry juice. It's funny, tea's not the only thing. There's a lot of food that I ate all during my pregnancy that I will not eat now because it just tastes flavorless or it makes me super nauseous. I am now to venture trying new food.
Better late than never. For all that was lost, once again be found. Better late than never.
She's in a phase now where she wants me to hold her, which I absolutely love. I just can't get anything else done around the house. So the fact that I turned on Toy Story and she's just been watching it the entire time. I was able to clean the kitchen, wash the nipples of the bottles, put stuff away, clean the counter, help my husband fold the clothes while he took a nap. It just felt good because I was able to put her down.
For you and me.
I'm so behind on text messages. I text 16 people back this morning. I'm a month behind on text messages. She just put herself to sleep. Put her down and I told her that I'm gonna go take a shower and we shook on it. She can't cry until I come back. And I think she understood. Our daughter just put herself to sleep at 14 weeks. I'm about to hop on my second postpartum for Black moms group. And it's gonna be my first time on here. I'm ready to open up because the very first time I wasn't really receptive. I had not heard others talk about, but my husband too experienced postpartum depression. Men too, fathers too, can experience postpartum anxiety, depression, all the things, because now they are carrying the weight of taking care of a child, taking care of you. And there's help for it. There's a postpartum group for fathers to vent, to talk about what they're experiencing, what they're going through. I think I'm talking about, I'm leaving it down below. Again, everything is time stamped because I know it's a lot. I want to try to help as much as possible, but it is a free group to join, and there are so many different type of groups. Infertility issues, if you are currently pregnant and you are dealing with anxiety and depression, whatever it is, there's a group literally for perinatal and postpartum.
Everybody hear me okay? Y'all are doing well. Also gonna give y'all a heads up in advance. I am doing my best to keep my littles from busting up in here like the Kool-Aid man, but no promises, so parenthood, right? I'm gonna do what we can tonight.
I don't know what it was about being in a group that was exclusive to Black moms. I just felt this relief. Just wanted to talk about my experience, and so I was the first one to like speak up. Okay, I'll go. My name is Katherine. I am in Texas. I have a 14-week-old baby, and a highlight of my week is I was able to find postpartum denim that I can actually fit. And I'm on here because I think that I'm just grieving a lot of different things that's happened in the 4th trimester. I'm a very structured person, type A. I research everything, but now I understand people say you cannot prepare yourself for postpartum. It's something you just have to go through, and that is been difficult for me not to have a solution to it. Even on a larger scale, just to be a part of a postpartum group where I heard testimonies of other moms, stories of moms who are going through what I'm going through, those who've been in the game for a very long time, who have multiple kids. It just felt good not to feel alone. It made me want to find gratitude in my day. It's sad that as moms we have to go through this, you know, as your hormones try to balance itself out. I didn't realize there were so many resources. That was one of the advice that the lead was telling me, to find as many support groups for moms because it will help so much.
So here's my solution to not having no edges. We just gonna be doing this hairstyle for a while. Oh, look at my makeup. Little stuff like this just make me feel better about myself. Happy Monday. Baby girl is officially 15 weeks today. We almost have a 4-month-old. And she is just literally the joyous, happiest baby there is. Today, my friend is coming over to drop off food for us, which I'm so happy about. And then her and I are gonna go out and get something to eat. I seriously have amazing friends. Friend who I went out with today brought over some food for us. Like, she don't even understand how much this is coming handy. I have a friend that I'm going to be going stroller walking at the mall tomorrow. Yes, we are at this point in my life, I'm stroller walking in the mall. Wednesday is my life group. Someone else decided to lead this week. And then Thursday, I think I'm going to hop back on another postpartum group just to stay consistent.
Just left lunch with one of my friends and it feels so good to just have deep, meaningful conversations. My breasts are full of milk, so I'm about to go home. I'm so proud of myself for just even asking her, like, hey, you want to get out? Because you get so used to being at home with your baby after a while. Separation anxiety, and also it's just a lot. Like, if you don't have other mom friends, it becomes a lot. But she was just so patient with me and understanding. 15 weeks. My stomach still doesn't match the rest of my body, but I'm trying to learn how to embrace my body. This is motherhood. I barely made it in the door. I had to breastfeed her because my breasts are full of milk. I have to unzip my pants because postpartum. Babe, what's today's date?
14.
This far, it is a no-brainer that we have and are experiencing marital issues because we are going through a lot, and we have gone through a lot. We are still a work in progress. Marriage is hard when you have a newborn. I don't know what to do. Us not having physical support, my husband and I literally doing everything, like about 3 hours. That's unaccounted for, but even then, we're tag teaming, trying to cook, cleaning up the house, running errands, and before you know it, it's literally already time for her nighttime routine. There is this game called Fair Play where you decide like who takes on what responsibility, so it doesn't just fall on one person. It's a pretty good game to have, but there are 10 wild cards. If you were to get one of these wild cards, that responsibility takes the load off that person. You are probably the one that takes on that responsibility because they're going through these life changes. We had 9 of the 10 cards. We have been like passing ships. It has been so hard. It's a hard place to be in, and it's making me sad. First, or even the first 3 years after having a baby is so difficult. Definitely needed a third person, a mediator, someone who has no ties to us to be able to help us through this journey. Physically, the support we just do not have. We are looking into possibly getting a nanny. Our support, we're having to pour money into. I just wish we had the help physically. I just feel like nobody understands, and I know that's not true. It just feels that way right now. And our marriage counselor has to tell us that y'all have been through so many transitions. One transition is hard, and we're going through like 9 of them. My husband also lost his dad when our daughter was 4 months. Now you tack on grief, having a new baby. It has been challenging. That's the reason why I haven't obviously been on social media. Mentally, there's just so much going on that I need to take care of. I remember the first time that I now know that it was postpartum rage. Throwing a spoon at my husband past his ear. I was so infuriated, out of control, and I like ran and past him and into the bathroom, closed the door, and I just cried on the ground. I just felt so lost. It was too much. Parenting without parents, hyper vigilant, protecting my baby, trying to find out myself, grieving, transitions, doctor's appointments, and my stomach not changing its color, my baby being sick and her having eczema. It became too much. It became too much for me to handle. I shut down.
Physical help is what's needed. In-person support, the in-person hug that I would like. Somebody just to tell me that I'm doing a good job. You just need a hug, or you just need to know like it is okay. She's just so precious. She's just in her own world. I do have my life group tonight, which I'm looking forward to. There is power in having support. Y'all are not tired of me like crying. I don't know how many times I probably cried in this video.
I wanted to see a postpartum therapist. Now and then I realized that there is a blurry line between what I'm experiencing because of high hormones, and that is typical in navigating after having a baby that I otherwise may not have been experiencing prior to having a baby, if that makes sense. We 12-day breathe. Your baby girl slept for 7 hours last night. I woke up before her because I'm like, is she still breathing? Overall, I feel like I got more than 7 hours of sleep. I'm about to call lactation, calling in for our usual checkup.
I want to just make sure that I don't have COVID issues going on. I also want to make sure I don't have diastasis recti. The last time I was in this parking lot, I want to see my primary care doctor. I was recording on here telling y'all I hope that I'm pregnant, and my daughter's sitting in the back seat right now. Everything's good.
There was one part of my visit with my doctor today when I opened up and I said, I am experiencing now postpartum depression. I reflected when I got home that entire conversation. You know what? I appreciate her approach. She said, how is it going? How are you feeling? Do you feel like you need additional help? Would you like medication? I told her that I am seeing a therapist, and she said, you feel like it's helping? You know what? I really appreciate her asking and not pushing it on me. How did that make me feel? Feel heard, safe. We went over everything: my scar, pelvic pain, hair loss, darkening of my stomach, how exhausted I've been, back pain, blurry eye vision. She did say that when you have a baby, it takes a while for your body to adjust normalcy. It has done so much work. 9 months that you carried a baby to push the baby out, like your body, it's gonna take about a year. She said, give yourself a year. Like, it's only been 4 months. What usually happens after a woman gives birth is that they appreciate their bodies more because you now understand what your body is capable of. And it's so true. We talked about how I'm still tired, and she mentioned it's so common. Although you may be getting sleep at night, it's nowhere near the same quality sleep you got prior to having a baby because you're getting up constantly throughout the night. Your body is still physically healing. I was like, man, thank you for putting meaning to what I didn't quite understand. And I felt like when I was going through sleep deprivation, all of this was in my head and I just did not have the language for it. I didn't have the understanding. I didn't know what was happening. And it's so funny looking back because we're only at 4 months right now. Only at 4 months. And I was saying this at like 3 weeks. I feel good. I feel really good. I just wanted to share this with y'all because I feel like nobody told me this. And I just started to feel silly just calling my OB and like, hey, my edges are falling out. I talk to them, or do I go to my hairdresser? Stomach is dark. I go to you, or do I go to my primary care doctor, or do I go to a dermatologist? Eyes are getting blurry. Do I go to an eye doctor, or do I go back to my OB because it's a symptom of breastfeeding and postpartum? Sleep deprivation. Do I go back to my OB, or do I go see a sleep doctor? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like, who do you talk to about all of this stuff? It just feels good that I finally got answers for things. It can give the next mom, the next person, a little bit of direction.
I'm back for my women's wellness exam. I love that they offer that here. My daughter's about to make 7 months, and like having supportive doctors like love on you. They're just literally the best, the sweetest group of people that we could ever ask for. Got it checked in every area. I had a therapist, see my chiropractor tomorrow, see my dentist, I see my primary care doctor. Feel good.
Tomorrow she makes 16 weeks, which means that it has taken me 4 months to finally come out and say I am dealing with postpartum depression, and it's free. I was in denial for so long. Like, I got this. I know what depression is and what it feels like. I've been through this before. It's a whole different ball game when you become a mom and when you can't take breaks and when you are healing through mothering and when you are triggered and when you realize that some of the things that you are dealing with in your marriage or even with your new baby, things that weren't necessarily healed in your childhood, and now you have to go back to your childhood to heal those traumas so they won't interfere in your future. It's a whole thing. There's power when you finally open up to someone about what you've been holding to yourself, what you were in denial about, and what you probably was ashamed to open up to someone about.
which resulted in me going up for prayer. It's just like everything in my brain needs some place to go. And today, my first time truly been able to listen to the songs and connect with them. I felt aware of my surroundings. I just want to tell one more person who is a mom that will probably understand exactly what I'm going through. Back to the nursery, and there's this one really sweet lady. She's been there since the first day we dropped off our daughter, and she's seen me cry, she's seen her grow. I put her aside and said, hey, can you pray with me? And I just said, I'm dealing with postpartum depression. I love my daughter, I absolutely love her so much, but I don't know why I'm feeling this way. There's no reason for me to be sad. I've been a mom so much. I wouldn't want to change any of this. I just need more help. She just hugged me so tight and started praying. She began to just say, it is so common for women to go through this. Don't know why. The hormones are just all over the place. She dealt with it with her first child. Every woman is different. They deal with it, make 2 to 3 kids in, and they didn't deal with it with the first child. She said it won't always be like this. Because mental health wasn't spoken about 10 years ago the way that it is now, I was told not to tell nobody. I didn't have insurance. I was treated differently. I was immediately just put on medicine, and I didn't even know how to regulate that medicine. I didn't have a therapist, so we weren't even getting to the root problem. So of course, you can understand my hesitation as to why, while I've been in denial, because I didn't want to be labeled. I didn't want to be misunderstood.
I'm ready to get back out there. She's a lot more active now. I have a whole toddler. I am so grateful. I can't emphasize that enough for those who have looked after our child, loved on our child, contributed to being an extension of our village. That's how I'm looking at it now. Really do appreciate you guys who have checked in on me, sent me messages. I not responded because I just didn't know how to. So excited to put these gifts together for them. Came up with this idea, each give one quick recipe, swap it our last group, so each mama can go home with 3 new recipes to cook. I completed my last group in 3 months, leading a mom's group for the first time. This was bittersweet, but I'm so glad I did it. I am the primary caretaker for my daughter. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to stay home with her, especially the first couple of weeks, but I also knew the blessing and the position that I have been in. I don't have to go back to work after 6 weeks or after 12 weeks. And I honed in every single moment of taking care of my baby.
It was literally on this pillow. How did she end up over here? This girl is magical. She learned something and do it consistently. Little girl, trying to crawl.
Mama, you just took 3 steps. Whoa!
Happy birthday to you.
Daughter got me going down the slide with her.
From her staring at me to her crawling for the first time, lifting up her head, smiling, giggling. She don't say mama and dada. I have had an opportunity to literally watch her grow up in my arms. I do not regret it for nothing. These are the days I live for. It was more important for me to be here for her, to be present with her, than to be anywhere else.
My skin has been flourishing, y'all, and it's been making me so proud. 4 months in, and my skin looks healthy, youthful. It looks soft, hydrated. Edges are growing back. We just talked about these edges.
I am slowly but surely hanging out with my friends again. I do have my core mom friends that I'm texting all the time about everything. If they are still friends with me, they're the real ones, because I be asking questions about everything. I be having deep conversations early in the morning, and they don't judge me. I was showing you a scene of what my morning routine looks like now, but my daughter is waking up an hour and a half before her actual time. I had to come to a stop. So I started to get frustrated, but I was like immediately like, I'm not gonna complain. I go and get my daughter, and as I'm hugging her, she takes her head off my chest, looks at me, and you can tell she's like thinking. She looks at me and slowly pulls in and kisses me because she sees me do that to her. On my hardest days, I hug her. I am like crying on her shoulder. She has no idea. She's just so innocent and precious. I love her so much. And her smile. She has my smile. When she cries, I usually hold her and I'll like rub her back, pat her back, and she mimics that and pats my back too. Like her little fingers just be tapping my shoulder. It is the sweetest. It lets me know that she's watching everything I'm doing and mimicking it. It changed my whole mood this morning. Her foot is literally right here. Oh, it gets closer and closer to my cheek after a while. Life still goes on. I am still experiencing postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, still having some physical issues that I'm going through. I am finding a creative outlet again, which is why I'm even sitting in front of this camera right now. It's a huge step forward. It took a long time to get here. I'm currently into baking. I've been into seashells, scallops, anything mermaid, iridescent. My husband is in grief share. My husband and I currently see a therapist. Spaces around this topic and have more conversations around the duality and the diverse experiences of motherhood. One person's postpartum motherhood journey will look completely different than the next one, so I encourage you to tell your story too. Check on your mom friends.